Hi everybody, welcome back one last time. This is your final video for EDU291 and Module 6. In this video, I'm just going to go over the last few assignments we have due and what you can expect. So again, as mentioned before, if you want to go over the final project in more detail, jump back over to this video where I walk you through how to complete the template. This video, I'm going to talk quickly about peer responses and the last part of our assignment, which is assessing your resources. We also have our final literature study for the invention of Hugo Cabret due, and one final assignment, which is your spring schedule. So your final project, I've already gone over how to complete the Google template, but in this submission, you want to make sure that you submit your Google slide template. This includes your research, your topic, your annotated bibliography with 4 books. This will also include your peer responses. So you can see the rubric breaks it down. This assignment is worth 100 points. So it is essential that you submit 10 points for the critical issue and why you chose it, 11 points for each resource that you include in APA and give a summary for why you provided it, 5 points for the scope of the project, and then 12 points for each of the 4 books that are included in your annotated bibliography. And then you can see your peer response your peer responses are 5 points each, and then your overall presentation for being visually appealing, grammatically correct, and things like that for 5 points. So as I mentioned in the previous video, once you submit your final project here, you will then be assigned your peer review, and it will notify you when you are assigned. Canvas goes ahead and does it automatically. It is set to do so. You will not be assigned peers if you do not submit. So if you find that you have submitted and you do not get a peer assignment of 2 peers to review, please email me through Canvas right away and I will see what's going on. But you will be notified up here that you have 2 peers to review. You will read their assignment, you will give quality feedback, and you can grade them on the grading rubric. I will then go in and grade as well. So again, your peer responses are as a total of 10 points, and those points will be given in the final assignment grading. Okay, as I jump back over to modules, get back to where we were. This little tab here is just a reminder letting you know to submit your peer responses. There's no grades due here. It's just a reminder. If you don't have that assigned to you, you know what to do. The final piece of our final assignment is to assess your resources. Once you have submitted your final project, you're going to review it one last time and just kind of give an overall, as you reflect, what gaps or needs or anything applicable that happened in your assignment. Did you find an oversaturation of books on one particular subtopic? Did you find it hard to access resources? Just an overall review. And then you're going to reflect any issues that were not covered or covered very minimally. You will create a copy of the template, which looks like this. So remember, come up here and create a copy. And then you will complete the following. What aspects of your project do you think was the strongest and why? Consider all the subtopics represented, age, grade levels, and so on. Write that in paragraph form. Next, considering the books you included in your project, what gaps or needs were related to your subtopics? Anything that you would include now that you have already completed the project, would you change your subtopics? And if you were to redo this project over again, explain one thing that you would do differently. Typically, after we do our research and we realize that there is something we would have liked to have dug in deeper. So this is just a time to reflect, and then you will copy this and submit it to Canvas here. That is the final piece of your final assignment, but we're not completely done. We still have our last literature study. Now, I have mentioned over the course to be reading Hugo Cabret, The Invention of Hugo Cabret, throughout this semester. It's listed in the syllabus that I do not provide a copy of this book, nor do I believe is there a read aloud of this book in anywhere. I have not been able to access any digital copy. So as you guys agreed to in the syllabus contract, you will need to have your own copy of this book. The assignment is to explore the invention of Hugo Cabret and their online resources to learn more about our author, Brian Selznick, and the ideas behind this text. This book that he wrote is an absolute labor of love. It's one of his most prized works that he has ever created. And there's a lot of history behind what went into creating this book. He is the illustrator as well as the author, and if you have read the book, you know these illustrations are amazing. So it really is very awesome to do a tour of this book experience. The first thing that you're going to do, of course, is read the book. Then you're going to conduct an analysis of the Brian Selznick website. Then you are going to conduct an analysis of at least 2 professional reviews of the book. So we've been doing reviews throughout the semester. So you can find reviews on his website, or you can do your own search of reviews of Hugo Cabret. You will then locate and review one interview that's conducted with the author, Brian Selznick, about his experience of writing The Invention of Hugo Cabret. Once you have done those things, you will use this literature study document to complete. So Brian Selznick website is here. You can see there is a whole section about Hugo Cabret. There is a whole section about one of the main characters in our book. There is a whole page on Brian Selznick himself, and here's where you can find interviews and links with the author. So there's a lot here to be explored, so do take the time to really get to know this site. If you want to use additional resources along with the site, by all means, you're welcome to do that. So our literature study document is broken down in this way. You're going to seek and read 2 professional reviews about The Invention of Hugo Cabret. For each, you're going to include the link here. It should be a hyperlink so that I can click on it. And then a quick 2 to 3 sentences about what the reviewer had to say of the book. Then you are going to find an interview with Brian Selznick himself, include the hyperlink here, and then do a synopsis of the overall interview. You want to discuss what you learned about the author and really just the overall experience in the interview. Then you're going to follow up with some analytical reflections. You are going to make connections between the book and what you learn from your research. Each response should be about 5 to 7 sentences. Really, this should be a nice paragraph for each response. Make sure that you are referencing ideas from the book in your response. So make sure that you are referring directly to parts of the book or just ideas that you gained by reading the book. Number 1, how does the information you researched shed light on the creation of or intentions of the story? So now that you've researched the whole backstory, you've learned about the author and all that went into the book and its creation, how has that shed some light into how this story is intended? Next, Number 2, what insights did you gain from studying the life of the author? So insights into the book itself. Maybe there were parts of the book that made more sense to you at this time. So you can get pretty descriptive here. And then number 3, how do the resources that you explored add to your interpretation of the novel? So again, this knowing the backstory, knowing the author himself, knowing what he went through and how he approached creating this masterpiece really helps to define your interpretations of the novel itself. So get descriptive here and tell me how this experience of this exploration really helps you to grasp a more deep meaning in this overall experience. That is the literature study. You will make a copy and submit that to Canvas here. Once you've done that, you guys, you are on the absolute home stretch. The only thing that is left to do is to submit your class schedule for spring 2021. Can you guys believe we are almost to our next semester? So whatever semester you're headed to, this is what you will submit. As a current student, you have priority to sign up for classes. This is where you're going to go into the Student Center at your My Maricopa and take a screenshot of your schedule for next semester. If you're transferring to a university or not taking any courses in the spring, that is fine. You can simply add a text entry here letting me know what your plans are, and you will still receive credit. So you're going to submit your name and class schedule and plan for this assignment. It can be a text entry or a file upload. If for some reason you are not taking classes and it has anything to do with the impact of classes being online or anything like that, you can certainly get detailed if there's a reason why you're not returning for a while. But if you don't want to get detailed, you can simply just say, I won't be returning in the spring, but I hope to return at some point, or so on. So everybody will get credit if you submit something to Canvas. That will be the end of our course, everybody. You will have completed it and you will be feeling pretty wonderful at this point. If you have any questions for me in regards to the literature study, assessing your resources, submitting your final project, anything like that, please go ahead and email me through Canvas. Yeah, that's about it. I have really enjoyed getting to know you all throughout this semester, and I know it was a difficult semester for many, and I just want to say congratulations for a job well done. You have all been an absolute pleasure, and I wish you the very best and hope to see you in a future class. Thanks, everyone.